and welcome to Knit All the Things. My name is Laurel. I'm also known as West Maven on Instagram, Ravelry, and here. If you're new, this is a space where I talk about all the things I'm knitting, all the things I want to knit, all things yarn, just all the things. And if you're returning, welcome back, Knitting Bestie. I can't wait to catch up with you. In this week's episode, I am going to share with you some of my progress on my cloud sweater. I also have a new potential cast on. I've wound up all the yarn and I'm ready to go. And I definitely want to get a project on the needles very soon because I'm just itching for like new cast-ons. I brought some of my sweaters that I have made for the spring and summer months, and I'm going to share with you some of my very favorite spring and summer warm weather yarns. So grab your knitting, get cozy, and let's go. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what I am wearing. I'm wearing the Kavat sweater. This is a pattern by Caitlin Hunter, and I used Brooklyn Tweed's Imbue Sport as well as Spin Cycle dyed in the wool in the colorway Mizuzu. I really like this sweater a lot. I made some modifications. The biggest one being that I decided to forgo the baubles and I did beads instead. I used Toho beads and I think I used size 8. I will have all that information below, but I think I used size 8. And I ended up using a charcoal kind of frosted bead with a gold core. So that is that. I really like this version a lot. I did the lace on the body, which I really like. I do have extra yarn in case I want to go back and never add sleeves, because I might. I haven't really decided on that. I don't know. I think these sleeves are cute, but I almost think, I don't know. I'm not sure. Not sure if we need sleeves or not yet. It is wool, and so for that reason, I think a sleeve would make sense, but it also is kind of nice to have a knitwear piece that has a little warmth, but is also short sleeve. So there you go. If you have not heard already, Brooklyn Tweed is actually closing their yarn part of their business and they're just transitioning solely to patterns. So if you were interested in this particular yarn, I believe the color is charcoal, or it's whatever their like black dark gray color is. They are going to be not making yarn anymore, so if you are interested, I would go to their website or check your local yarn store for this yarn if you were interested. I really enjoyed knitting this one. It went really, really fast because it is such a like short sleeve. You get done with the yoke, then you have really fun lace work. It's just a really fun, engaging pattern to knit, and I really enjoyed it a lot. Let's check in with my latest project, which is the cloud sweater. This is a pattern by Petite Knit. I'm using Noro Uchiwa yarn in the colorway, I want to say this is number 6. I will certainly have that information below. Also, real quickly, if you haven't done so yet, I do have a newsletter. When you receive the newsletter, which is only sent out with each episode, you will get all of the like show notes, descriptions, links to patterns that I talk about, links to yarns I talk about. That way you have all that information just sent to your inbox. So sign up for that newsletter if that interests you. Okay, so the cloud sweater is by Petite Knit. I am making a size 3, which is, or no, I think I'm making the size 4. It's the medium size. And I wanted it to be a little bit more oversized than my cloud blouse. And it is kind of trending that way. Last time I talked about my cloud blouse, I talked about how I ended up re-knitting the sleeves because I wasn't really wearing it. The sleeves were kind of overly baggy. So I knew that when I was knitting the cloud sweater, because really the only difference is your gauge. So when I was knitting the cloud sweater, I decided I was going to again decrease on the sleeves more often than the pattern suggested. I am going with every 8 rows a decrease for now. I've tried it on a few times and that really has made the sleeves really nice. I really thought it was interesting because this is a quite stripy sweater, I would say. But on the sleeve itself, it's much wider stripes, which obviously is because you have a smaller circumference. But I did think that was such an interesting, like you can really see it on this sweater, how it's just so different. There's like really more like color blocking happening on the sleeve. So I thought that was kind of an interesting touch. This definitely, I'm on the fence with this one right now. So I feel like you come across a point in your project where you end up having to just trust the process because right now I'm not loving it. I tried it on and I think part of it has to do with the neckline. I haven't done anything yet with the neckline, and I think that is kind of making me crazy a little bit. Last time I did the neckline right away, so I could kind of get a better idea on the sleeves, like what that was looking like. So right now, I do think I'm gonna do a little bit taller neckline than my cloud blouse, which I'll pick up really quick. So my cloud blouse has quite a small neckline. It's only, I don't know, like maybe 8 rows or so. It's not a very tall neck. And it also does the rollover, so you're not getting like a big neckline. I think this one I will definitely make a larger neckline, and I'm thinking that I have enough yarn to make the sleeves on the on the longer side, so I'm hoping to like shoot for like my knuckle of my thumb for the length of the sleeve, just so it's kind of oversized feeling all over. And so far I really think I could finish this quickly. We've had a lot going on at home. As you can tell, I'm still a little bit sick, so please forgive my voice sounding strange today, but I had big aspirations to have this done and wear it on this podcast, and that did not happen. But in the meantime, while I was working on my cloud sweater, I was actually working on something else. So it was my son's birthday, and he requested a Kirby of Nintendo Kirby, I guess, or maybe Mario, I don't know, Kirby, a video game character, for his birthday. And I scrolled through Ravelry and saw that there were patterns. None of them jumped out at me on how I had pictured it in my head, so I just went ahead and freestyled it. So here he is, and basically he can also be like squished up a little bit. There you go. So I used leftovers. I used Teal Torch Knits. I think it's called like Electric Melon or something like that, Neon Melon, and La Bien Aimé's Kumo in Fluoro Morganite. And then I used, I think it was Cascade 220, or it might be Plymouth Heritage. One of those ones, like the DK weight. And I think this colorway is just red. So, and then to do the face, I got this. So to do the face, I bought this off of Amazon. It's just sticky water soluble paper stabilizer. And I Googled a picture of Kirby and made it big enough on an iPad and just traced it, and then cut that out and stuck it to his face. And then I used embroidery thread to embroider his face. So that's how he came to be. I'm very proud of him. I think he turned out really well. I will say I did larger, I think faster increases on the bottom and then slower ones on the top, just to give him a slightly more rounded head feeling, and so that he can kind of sit nicely. So there you go. I guess if you wanted to know what I did, I could give guidelines, but not really a pattern, because I just was kind of going, and as I went, okay, well, now we need to start decreasing, and oh, I'm gonna go at a slower rate of decrease for his head because I want it to be rounder than the body was turning out. So while I could give you guidelines, it wouldn't be a pattern. And I think my other son is going to want one as well, so I will be working on that soon. But there he is. He's cute. So that's Kirby. He's very loved, and I really liked adding the Kumo because it definitely gives him some fuzz, which just makes him more teddy bear-like. And yeah, I'm pretty proud of that one. Now that we're done talking about cute little Kirby, 2 things. First thing, I thought I would share with you guys, it's just is gonna come about one of these days. I finally ended up winding yarn for the antique filigree. This is a pattern by Unwind Knitwear or Rachel Ilsley. And I really love her sweaters. I think that they're beautiful, intricate, and I really can't not wait to cast this one on. I am using for the main color Shed. It's a fingering weight yarn by Diamond Lane. And this is the colorway, I think it's Martin. It's like a navy blue. And then I got out all of my spin cycles that I'm gonna use. It's a pattern that's in 2 colors, but I'm kind of just flying by the seat of my pants. So I have these colors. I also have, these are hard to hold, so you can kind of see. And then, which is Mizuzu, one of my favorite colors. I also have a little bit of leftover Mizuzu if I need it. So from this project. And then this is Vesuvius Plum. And then this one is, I can't remember, but it's a Nocturne color, and I'll put the name on the screen. There we go. And then we have, I think this one's like Throwback, or again, I'll put it on the screen. So those are the 4 colors. And then I have Shades of Earth just in case I need like one of these colors to like make it cohesive. So I've just got a bunch of random bits right now. I'm going to try to make this like a coloring book style where I'm just being very choosy with my colors. I'm not sure how it's all going to go yet. So this pattern, the Antique Filigree, again by Rachel Ilsley, she has this beautiful color motif. What I think I'm going to do is start with whatever color, fade into the middle, and then fade back out to have like almost a mirrored image. I think I kind of don't have a plan for this one, which is why I think I haven't immediately cast it on, because I'm so excited to knit this, but like, I don't know about you, but I need processing time sometimes. So it's almost like I'm working through the pattern in my head before I actually cast it on. And then once I cast it on, I feel more confident in what I'm going to do. And so that's kind of where I'm going with this right now. But I'm really, again, I can't wait to cast this on. It's going to be amazing. So I'm getting closer. I don't have anything to share with you yet on it. Just as a quick update, I've been working on the diamond jacket. I haven't done anything with that. Like I said, it's been crazy. Let's talk about summer yarns, or spring and summer yarns. We're going to talk about some of the projects I've done in the past, more just to give it some inspiration and some of my recommendations for that warmer weather yarn. So we talked about this last week, but I'm going to throw it out there just so you guys can see it. This is the cloud sweater. Sorry, this is the cloud blouse by Petite Knit. I am using Noro Competo. This is the color, I think, 1. And I love this. It's so soft. Like, of all of the cotton yarns that I have, this one is the nicest to knit with. It really feels so good in your hands. Beautiful colors. Like, I love, love, love everything about this sweater. Okay, and one last thing about this one. The content for the yarn is 35% cotton, 35% silk, and 30% nylon. And I really couldn't recommend it enough. It really feels so nice to knit with. Like I said, the Noro Uchiwa is another one that I'm currently using, and it is also a beautiful yarn to work with. So the Noro Uchiwa fiber content is 30% cotton, 30% rayon, and 20% silk. And again, this one as well is very soft. And it has a really nice feel while knitting it, and I think you guys would enjoy it a lot. Next up, I have my Cumulus tee. This is a pattern by Petite Knit, and I used Knitting for Olive Pure Silk. And when I was knitting with this, I really did enjoy it a lot. It is really soft. I really love the feel of this. It has not too much slip. It has definitely some texture to it in a really good way. I really enjoyed knitting this. It was very comfortable to knit, and I liked it a lot. And I really love the finished like drape and everything of this tee. It turned out so beautifully. I will say the Cumulus tee isn't like a showstopper. It's quite plain, but it really wears beautifully, and it's nice to be able to wear something that you made. Next up, we have the Rhoda jumper. This is a pattern by Irene Lynn, and I used Illimani Sabri 2, which is a worsted heavyweight yarn. It is 85% cotton and 15% alpaca. I really love, this is like one of my all-time favorite yarns to knit with, and you'll see in a minute that this isn't the only thing I knit with it. So this is, again, the Rhoda jumper by Irene Lynn. I just absolutely love it. It's a big, oversized, holey sweater. It's one of my favorites to wear. Along the same lines, I made an Albina by Caitlin Hunter in the same yarn. I used, again, the same black. I think it's just called black. And then I think the white on this one is called Stone. And the modifications I did on this one, I made the stripes wider, and I started the sleeve stripes a little bit lower. I think it was after the first decrease. There's that one. And then I used, just as to give you guys ideas on yarns, Pearl Soho has this yarn. It's their, I think it's just their pure linen. If I'm incorrect, I will put it on the screen. But I made one of these cute little bags. It's a free pattern on their website. I have yet to, I always forget that I have it. I want to like put a sock project in it because I really think it would travel so well. I'm trying to find something to put in there. It's kind of awkward thing, but just kind of hold it like that. It's really, really cute. And it has worn, like, it has aged well. It really looks brand new still. So that's really nice. And then I have Osea Her Organic. Oh, her. Guys, I always forget how to pronounce that. And I used, again, the black, and then I think it's called Khaki. This is the Alpine Bloom by Caitlin Hunter, I believe. And I really like it a lot. I think it's one of my favorite linens. This is, I believe, 100% organic linen. And this is one of my favorites. I feel like as it gets older, it just softens so nicely, and I really like it a lot. In the linen trend, I have sweater by Tori Yu. This is her, I'm gonna actually have to put it on the screen because I cannot remember the name of this one. It's modified, and I followed Design by So-and-so Ashley, who also has a podcast. I followed her instructions to do this modification, which essentially you, I believe, I'm trying to remember the original. I think the original maybe only had this on the sleeves, maybe, and you just can kind of continue it on the body, the whole section. This one is okay. This is a linen yarn called Antigone, and it's in the colorway, I believe, Slate or Graphite. And I like it a lot. I will say, and they even warn you that it can kind of skew a little bit when you're knitting with just one strand of linen. I didn't have this problem on any of my other linen items except for this one, and it definitely has, like, it kind of leans to one side. I don't know if I could fix that or not in some way. Maybe redo this last portion, I don't know. But I haven't worn it that much, maybe because of that reason. I have toyed with the idea of ripping this out and doing like a rocket tee instead. I don't know. It's definitely something stripy still, but maybe something different. So there's that one. And next up, I have a ranunculus. This is also Illimani Sabri. This is the fingering weight, and I just used one strand, and I really love how this turned out. I swear, this is like, I have it backwards. This is one of my favorite yarns of all time. It's just so soft. It feels really nice to knit with. The fabric that it makes is really beautiful. The black is like very black. It's just a really nice yarn. And this one, I just did the short sleeve version of the ranunculus and the wide version of the neck, and I made the body longer. Okay, I have, this was my first ever tank, my first and only, and a couple of years ago I tried to make the mock neck tank by Jessie Made Designs, and it's still on my mind. I still really love the way it looks on everyone, so it's something I want to make. I definitely want it to be like an undershirt, and we'll talk a little bit more about her designs in a minute, but I really have been thinking like I want to make a tank of some kind or a bralette or something other than this. So this is made from Knitting for Olives cotton merino. This one, I didn't like it when I finished it, and I like aggressively blocked it because I was like, maybe I'll just like it better if it's like a looser fitting tank. It's just not one I gravitate towards. I have worn it on occasion like under stuff, but it's just not my favorite. This is, I believe, my favorite knitwear camisole number 2 or 3, one of the first couple of ones. It took a really long time for me to knit because it's on a very tiny needle, but I was proud of it when it was done. I think that was my maybe 3rd or 4th garment, so it has its also own problems, but it is what it is. This is also Knitting for Olive and Spin Cycle, and this is the Miss Serena by Caitlin Hunter, and I really like this one a lot. It's really comfortable to wear. It holds its shape nicely. Even though there's wool, I feel like it's not too hot by any means. This, though, I will say, the Knitting for Olive, just to give you an example, is more of a dark gray in the cotton merino. It just isn't like a true black. So that's just something to keep in mind. I also made one more Miss Serena, and I made it in Ritual Dyes Undine, which is their cotton linen blend, and this is the fingering weight version. They also have a DK weight, and I also use the Knitting for Olive for the color work in this one. So of all of these sweaters, I think the yarns are all really wonderful for different things. I would love to make a shawl in the Undine. I think that would be really nice. The drape of this yarn is really beautiful. I will say I think one of the reasons I haven't immediately cast on another project in the Undine is the colors are not just ones that I'm drawn to. Obviously, if you guys have watched this for a while, you know that I really like a lot of really dark colors, and they don't quite exist in that palette, but maybe one day they will. And then the Knitting for Olive, I've been seriously considering getting some more of it because I really do like the feel of the garments. The knitting it is really wonderful, and I really can only say nice things about it. And then I really feel like I should just always have this black yarn on, in my stash at all times, because I mean, 3 knits later and I would knit with it every day. It really is great, and it wears beautifully. It looks really nice. There's like no pilling or anything. It really wears beautifully. It has great stitch definition. Like, I can only say nice things about it. The Illimani Sabri is probably my favorite cotton blend yarn of all time, but the Neuro is also really good. So I hope those yarns and those kind of project previews give you guys a little bit of an idea of kind of future knits, because I don't know, they were inspiring me. Looking at the yarns and refilling them and pulling them out makes me excited for the warm weather and really excited to wear them. Which brings me to, I thought today, normally I like to highlight patterns that maybe you haven't seen or you haven't heard of, etc. But today I thought I would do something a little bit different, just because it's kind of what I've been thinking about in terms of like what's missing in my wardrobe. And so in Ravelry, I searched for tops and I looked up the ones with the most projects. So I was curious to see like what everybody else is knitting out there, and if anything was missing in my wardrobe. So Jessie Made Designs does all kinds of really cute crop tops and tanks and all these things. And I really do want to make one because I want to wear it like under a button-up type of shirt. And so I'm considering one of her designs, but I'm also considering a design by Celine Phaeton, which if you don't follow her, I really highly recommend signing up for her newsletter. She's always giving really wonderful advice on like construction of garments and all kinds of things. So it's very like high value to follow, or like sign up for her newsletter. I really feel like I learned so much from her. The Nurture bralette, I have always had my eye on. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I would almost consider making it into like a tank top. And like I said, just wearing it as like something that maybe you could peek and see, but not like be out there, because I really think it's beautiful. and it is something I've been wanting and thinking about knitting. So I don't know. Have you guys knit like a bralette or like a more, how do I want to say, a more like more revealing top, if you will, because I haven't really found a lot of success in it, and I'm always open to any tips. I feel like part of my hesitancy is that I don't wear too many tight things, and so I think sizing wise I'm like nervous about, and all those things that make me nervous to cast one on right away. I do know that the Nurture bralette, she gives a lot of tips on like sizing and stuff, so there's that, but we'll see. Who knows? I really was into the mock neck. I tried to make it work for me, and I picked the worst yarn for it, and it just didn't work. And so I think that scared me off a little bit, but I really want to get back in there. Some of the other to mention tops that are really popular right now are the Anchor Summer Tee by Petite Knit, the Tanya by Caitlin Hunter. I actually do have yarn in my stash because it's been something that's been on my mind. The Ripple Bralette by Jessie Made Designs, the Cumulus Tee, which I've made, the Rocket Tee by Tanis Lavelli. Again, I think that would be really nice using my yarn. I think that would be really nice using my yarn from this one to make a Rocket Tee. Just because I don't gravitate towards this and I want to wear my knits. The Tolsta Tee by Rebecca Clow is, of course, very popular for many reasons. You can do so many different variations of this tee. You can make it a bunch of times and it will always look different. And then the Secret Crops by Jessie Made, again, are on there. So there's a bunch of patterns that really are quite beautiful, and it's with good reason that people have made them over and over and over again. So I just thought that I wanted to share some of those with you because I try to actually not always share all the super popular designs, but I wanted to throw it out there because I had been browsing just to see like what's everybody else made that I haven't quite gotten to yet, you know? Okay, so I did mention that I really want to cast on the Antique Filigree by Rachel Ilsley, but in my mind I've been thinking about a lot of stuff. I haven't wanted to pick up the diamond jacket because it's a lot of concentration. And so I'm thinking I'm gonna wanna balance out the Antique Filigree with another pattern or another cast on. So what I'm thinking besides the Antique Filigree is casting on the Daily Pullover, a pattern by Paula Pereira. I have So Much Linen Quill by Pearl Soho, which is, I believe, I don't know the percentages, but I want to say it's Highland wool and linen and maybe something else. But it's such a nice yarn, and I have so much of it that I kind of want to cast something on, even if it's not something that I immediately wear, but just so that it's like on the needles, because it has been something I've been wanting to knit for a really long time, and it is stockinette. So I feel like it would be something that I would grab, especially if I'm like on the go to like knit. So I am considering that as well. And then, of course, doing some color work or just switching it up a little bit. There are so many things, you guys. There's so many things that I want to knit. I think sometimes it actually makes it harder to make a choice because there's so many awesome patterns and there's so much awesome yarn I want to use. And I feel like it can sometimes cause like decision paralysis. So anyway, that's kind of what I've had in mind. Right now, I wanted to share with you guys, I have been, of course, using the Osea products, and right now they have a special sets for Mother's Day. You could either do the Everything Shower Kit, which comes with the Undaria Algae Body Wash, the Salt of the Earth Body Scrub, and the Undaria Algae Body Oil. And I really, really, really love the body oil. It gives you such a nice nice moisturization. It feels really good on your skin. It smells really amazing. Like, it really is such a treat. And I feel like even the body wash I use a lot of times in the shower and just makes it better. Even if I have to take a very fast shower, I'm always like, oh, at least I got that like little like self-care moment. I wanted to share with you because I mentioned it before but didn't actually like give you a visual. So if you are interested, I feel like this is like one of the best things, especially for knitters. It's the Undaria Algae Body Butter, and it really has a really nice thick creamy consistency. And what I like to use, like I use it as a body moisturizer, of course, but I also really love it for my skin. So, or my hands. So my hands are kind of on the dry side, especially lately. And so I have been using it a lot on my hands, and it just makes them so much nicer. I feel like they have more of a youthful look, especially just not being all dried out and everything. So I've been using it a lot, and I've noticed a big difference in just like how my hands and skin appears. I really, really, really love it. It has a beautiful smell. It's so nice. I really can't recommend it enough. So I will put a link below. And again, if you sign up for the newsletter, I'll also send you a link. If you use Westmaven 10, you'll get 10% off your order. And that is an additional like 10% off of like even the kits. So the kits are really, really good value. The Everything shower set is amazing. Like I said, they have the Ocean Glow Body Trio right now, again for Mother's Day. And it's really special because this brand is also a mother-daughter brand. So it's kind of like sharing that with your mom, or treat yourself. I mean, definitely want to treat myself. So I wanted to share that with you guys so you didn't miss out. And then I also have been watching and listening to a lot of things. I have been listening to an author that's new to me, Stacy Willingham, and I just finished All the Dangerous Things, and A Flicker in the Dark, which I thought were good. I really did think they were good books. I'm right now listening to Only If You're Lucky, and I find she has an interesting way of writing. It's definitely like a mystery. I enjoy her writing a lot. So I've just been listening to that. This current book, Only If You're Lucky, is about a girl who's like lost her best friend and is off to college and meets another group of girls and kind of the things that go on with them. There's, of course, dun dun dun, murder. So it's about that. And then I just started watching Secret Millionaire, which is really fun to me. I'm really enjoying it. So that's kind of my, like, what I've been listening to, what I've been watching. And other than that, just had my youngest birthday, and I will say, I'll tell you guys the story really quick. I, every year, do balloons on our, like, staircase banister so that when I wake up, it's this very big, exciting, happy birthday thing. And they've kind of grown to expect it. And I always ask them, like, what colors do you want and all of that. And he wanted rainbow. So bear with me on this one. I have done rainbow for them in the past, which I really loved. And this time I thought I would do it a little bit different since it was kind of like a reoccurrence of the same colors. And so I got like a chrome package from Amazon. And I will link the ones below I recommend. I won't be linking this one. But I got this chrome package, and I blow them up with a like automatic blow up thing, and I tie them. I won't show close to the camera, but I have a big blister on the side of my finger from that. Battle wounds. And so I blew them all up, and I probably blew up like 120 balloons or something. And as I'm blowing them up, some of them are popping. And then I finish that kit and I walk out of the room because I'm like, oh, I just need a minute, get a drink of water or whatever. And I come back and they're all starting to pop, like loud popping all over the place. And I don't know about you, but it's like a very unsettling sound, just especially if it's not like you're playing rough with something and you know it's gonna pop. This is just like randomly, no one's touching them and they're just popping. So I kept thinking about it. I thought about it for a minute and I thought, okay, what can I do? Because I don't want to hang them all up, get it all like settled, if I can even get them without popping them all, and then have them do that all night long. Like that would be crazy. So what I ended up doing is popping them all and starting over. But I didn't have all of the rainbow colors as I was supposed to, so we had to improvise. So I ended up getting all the extra balloons that I had from the past and making this big balloon thing, and it all worked out. He was very happy with his balloons. But here's the kind of finished balloons, and yeah, I won't be doing chrome ones again. I don't know. It was really strange. I don't know if I overfilled them, if they were like continuing to expand after like the air went in and they were tied. The chrome, like, I don't know, but they were definitely a thinner balloon material than the typical ones that I use. So it was strange, but I won't be doing that again. So who knows? I wanted to share that with you because I know sometimes I'll get comments like, how did the balloons go? So I wanted to share that. But I had fun. My hand was injured. It didn't stop me from knitting. Next time, and you know, future me, I'm telling this too, if I put a Band-Aid on first before I start tying balloons, I'd be just fine because it would protect my hand instead of having the like sore after. Lesson learned. Till next year. And I forget. Or until June. June's our next birthday, so we'll be working on it again. I hope you guys enjoy the episode this week, and I promise you, well, let's not make promises we can't keep. I'm fairly certain I will have the cloud sweater done and hopefully wearing it next time, and at least one, if not a couple of cast-ons to look forward to. So until then, if you are not yet knitting besties, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and please like this video. It tells YouTube that other fiber enthusiasts like yourself enjoy this type of content. Until next time, make some yarn magic. Bye!